All right, guys, welcome back to Crypto Harmonics. This is Saturday, November the 4th. And in today's video, I just want to look at two things. First, I want to look at Lisk on the charts, and we're going to do a little breakdown there. And I want to show you guys something that I'm looking at that when it does have its price breakout, what we could potentially be looking at and how I'm looking at it today on the charts to judge when to get in. And then secondly, I want to show you guys my medium risk portfolio that I've put together for potential investors. In the last video, I showed the low risk portfolio, and in this one, I want to show the medium risk. I think it has about 16 cryptocurrencies in it, so it's a little bit fuller. So I'll give you guys the breakdown percentage-wise of that. Let's check it out. Okay guys, so this is Lisk relative to Bitcoin, and I made a video about a month or so ago talking about I wasn't ready to buy it yet, and it was around here, and I just held on to Bitcoin, and it, you can see it really, this is Bitcoin outperforming Lisk basically as Lisk falls relative to Bitcoin, because we can pop over to this chart here and see, where'd it go? We can see Lisk has been bouncing in the $4 to $5 range for, about a month or so. So relative to the dollar, it's really been pretty stable. But relative to Bitcoin, it's definitely gone down, just like everything else. So now, is it time for me to take some of the profits that I've made by holding Bitcoin instead of Lisk back here? Is this a more opportune moment? And you see, patience really pays off really well when, especially with day trading, but even like value investing, I think it was Warren Buffett that said, the stock market is a tool to transfer wealth from the impatient to the patient, or something along those lines. And so, that's really true. Trading is very much like that. If you can wait for these, this is a much better place. I feel much better. Even if it does come down further relative to Bitcoin, I'm okay with that because I'm rebalancing my portfolio. This isn't a trade with a stop loss or anything like that for me. I really like the future of Lisk, and so this is a much better price for me. I can get a lot more Lisk now because I held on to Bitcoin. I hope that kind of makes sense. So I have this bat pattern here. Shows up, so at this green line is a really opportune moment anywhere in here right now for me to buy some Lisk. But another way that I'm looking at it too is because let's look at Lisk here on Ethereum. Okay, so I hope I can explain this kind of simply, but this is another way I'm looking at it is not just Lisk BTC, but Lisk relative to Ethereum. So if you guys don't trade relative to Ethereum much, which those are lower volume charts for sure, but all this means is Lisk is 1.5 at 0.015. It's 1.5% the value of Ethereum. So Ethereum is worth $300 something, and Lisk is worth 4.71. So if this is going up, right? This is Lisk outpacing the performance of Ethereum. They can both be going up in dollar value, but Lisk may be going up higher or quicker. So I hope that kind of makes sense. So this is another chart I'm looking at because these are competitors. And so I'm using this chart to really look at, is Lisk taking away market share from Ethereum? And so you can kind of zoom out on this thing and see where it's hit at. It's hit at this line again where people have decided, hey, you know what? I think Lisk is a little undervalued relative to Ethereum, and so it'll move it up. And same thing here. So we might see a push up relative to Ethereum. One of the things I want to look at too is if we just switch over to, we know that Lisk is going to do a rebranding, and they're kind of revamp some stuff, which I believe everyone's waiting for. And I believe their launch is in this quarter. And so that's going to be huge for Lisk. But let me show you what EOS just did. So we got EOS here, and this is just from them, I believe, releasing their testnet early. And this is the price pump that we got. This is, we could take a look at this and see but this is a move. This is a big move. Let's see, 150. Let's call it 150% move, just from that kind of news. So I mean, I'm not saying Lisk would have exactly the same kind of move. You don't know what's priced in and what isn't. EOS had definitely had a huge fall down into the 40, 50 cent range. And so people definitely are eating that up. But point is, when Lisk does come out with its rebranding and the stuff that it has planned, we could definitely be looking at a doubling in a week. And so that is very, very possible, especially with the decline that it's had relative to other cryptocurrencies. While this market has been going up, Lisk has just been staying pretty steady in the $4 to $5 range. Okay, guys, so as promised, this is my medium risk portfolio. And so I just want to break this down. I just want to go through these real quick and show you what I'm suggesting. This is for potential investors and such, and really even for myself too, because I wouldn't tell somebody to do something that I myself am not really going to do. So this is starting off. Obviously, we got some of the same ones if you watched the previous video on my low risk one, but I've got Bitcoin, a big chunk. That way that's a solid performer. You know you're going to get good results. Really, this whole 50% here, you can see I still allotted 50% to some of these main ones. So 20 in Bitcoin, 12 in Litecoin, 10 in Ethereum, 8 in Dash. And that gives me a really solid performing half of this portfolio. I can ride that whole market up with pretty good confidence that all of these are really going to perform well, especially in 2018. And then we can go over and see, I begin breaking it up. We have Monero at 4%. Ethereum Classic at 4%, which were in the last ones as well. And I have a little bigger slice of Ethereum Classic. And then BitShares is new on here. So I've allotted 8% to BitShares. And I'd love to do another under the radar episode and do BitShares, even though I know BitShares is like $100 or $200 million and it's in the top 20, 30 cryptocurrencies. The decentralized exchange and the way the whole ecosystem they have set up, I think is really undervalued. This coin could easily have a 10, 15, 20x move in 2018, in my opinion. So I'm allotting 8% of my portfolio to BitShares. And then Lisk, here's Lisk. And we already talked about Lisk. I think all these I'm going to do another portfolio of just platforms. And if I was to break down, like, how much would I allot to EOS, Neo, Ethereum Classic, Lisk, and break it down by sectors as well. But Lisk here, I think, is awesome. I think the fact that it's in Java, you open up a broader market and shorten the learning curve, I think it is a huge selling point for me, at least. And then ARK, I have ARK at 5%. I really like ARK. I've just liked them since the beginning. I don't know why. I mean, they have good fundamentals and everything, but just something about them. I've really liked their stuff. And then Economy. I'm sure you guys are familiar with Economy. Really awesome platform. The coin is really down. It's under $1, I believe, now. So I think it's a steal. And then I have Pivx at 4% to help out with some of these privacy coins. I don't have a lot other than Monero and Pivx. Dash is not technically considered a privacy coin, although it does have those features. And then I've got OMG at 2%. I've got 2% to Decred, and I've got 3% to Steem. I do have a Steem account. I just really have not really gotten enough time to really focus in on it and try and use it and stuff. I've just posted a couple things on there. Maybe I should put that in the YouTube. I don't know. But anyways, if you guys are on Steem, maybe I'll put the link to my steemit if I can find it. And then EOS, we talked about. EOS has had a nice pump up as of recent. Anything this guy, Larimore, I think is his name, Dan, I believe. He had something to do with Steem. and BitShares. And so anything this guy touches in the crypto realm is just gold. And so I think EOS has a big future. Then we got NEO at 2%. And I like the residuals that you can get with the gas and stuff like that. And then you got these small ones. I guess I couldn't put them on here, but I have these are both 1%ers. So I have Rialto with 1%. I've talked about Rialto. And then I've got BlockNet on here at 1%. And so that kind of solid, to me, this is a great portfolio. I think you get a little bit of everything with this. And so, again, this is not investment advice. This is me doing things for people, that I like to do. I like to help people with investing and make some money. And so I just thought I would share this on here for you guys, and maybe you can see, hey, why would you have this? And you can feel free to ask some questions like, why do you want PIVX in there? Because I have a reason I have all of these. I didn't just willy-nilly say, oh yeah, let's throw some steam in there or something. There's a reason. And again, this, like the other one, is dynamic. It will change as these coins pump. Like I mentioned in Slack today, I'm not selling Ethereum Classic until, around the 22 mark. So once this goes up, am I going to sell all my Ethereum Classic? Probably not, but I may take half my position off and put it into something that hasn't pumped yet, like maybe Economy's down or PIVX or BitShares, something like that. So I hope that helps you guys. I think that about does it for me. I will check in with y'all next week. And I do have a couple more portfolios to show you. I want to do a high risk one because it's fun, okay? And so we'll do that one possibly next week. Take care, guys.